Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DCUO Sourcecast. I am, of course, Trex, and alongside me this evening, we have Super Patriot.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
And we have Brittany.
Hello.
So, hope everyone had a great last week, last Friday. I hope everyone out there and did your nerdy, geeky thing that everyone should have been doing last Friday night, which was, of course, tune into Grimm on NBC, because we're getting ready close to the season finale of Grimm, and it's an amazing...
Last week was a rerun. Last week wasn't a new episode.
Are you serious? Oh, fuck, it was. That's right. That's right.
It was not a new episode last week.
That's right. I forgot. Because I watched it Saturday mornings and it was not new. The originals was new. That's what I was watching. But still, go see Grimm. It's a good show. No, everyone should, of course, want to go see Civil War. Woo! Marvel Civil War. Yes. Woo! Yes. Not going to get too much into it because, of course, we're the DCUO Sourcecast and we have a lot to cover. We have something to really dissect tonight that came out last week, which I was really, really upset with myself. It's like, damn, we really should have done a show. Mets always does these big announcement things when we don't have a show. I don't know how he does it. It's not like I tell him when we do shows, right?
I think sometimes he actually does listen.
He just knows. He knows what you're thinking, Trex.
Oh, really? The conversation we had just yesterday where apparently I was wrong, that's a whole different thing. I didn't imagine it. I know it's a thing. But okay, whatever. I'm not gonna go into it. So anyways, we have 2 weeks to catch up on for DC Universe Online. And and hopefully we have some Xbox players here, because once again, welcome to Xbox community. And we are of course going to talk about the downtime that Xbox has been going through, and of course PC and PlayStation has been reeling from it as well. But of course, we have to start off with the fun stuff. Soups, how has your time off been?
It's been good. Couldn't wait to go see. I was supposed to go see Civil War last Saturday with my brother and my daughter. Woke up. Let's see here. I got up Thursday. Sometime during the day Thursday, I decided I couldn't wait, and decided to go Friday morning by myself, which is fine. I'm fine going to some movies by myself. But yeah, I went Friday morning for a showing. My brother and my daughter still don't know, so shh, everybody, don't tell them.
Yeah, because they listen to the show.
So good. So. And then, of course, I've been sitting on my hands, all week waiting to talk about it, and finally got a chance to record a movie review podcast with my buddy Neo. We've been doing a podcast together where we talk about all the TV shows and the news and the movies. And
Neo Synapses, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called the State of TV podcast. We did a movie review at 12 today. We did a movie review podcast of it, which went about an hour and 45 minutes. And then at 3:30, we got together to do our regular podcast, which there was a lot of news came out this week about all sorts of things. So we talk about the news there and about the TV shows. That lasted a little over 2 hours right there. So this is my third podcast today. And, yeah.
He's just really trying to show me up. That's all it is. I mean, if I didn't have to work an 8 to 5, surely I would find time to be on multiple podcasts every day. I will try and be Kevin Smith. I would. Just round-the-clock podcasts.
That's the goal, man. Get paid to do it, too? Shit. You know me. I mean, I can sit around for a couple hours and talk about this game. You get me in a room or, in a call with a couple people to talk about, comics, superhero movies, TV shows, stuff like that. Man, I can do that for hours. I need to find another idea for a podcast and all that. So I feel a third one in me. I feel a third podcast in me. I'm not sure what it's going to be about yet.
Well, good luck to that. So, Brittany, how has your time off been?
Oh, pretty good. Just, I don't know, doing my normal thing, work, DC, and other stuff. So, yeah, it was alright. I didn't realize there wasn't a show last week, so like I got on and I'm like, where is everybody?
She doesn't even listen to the show when she's
on.
on.
And I was like,
I know. She's like, she
what?
messaged me and she's like, "Are we not doing a podcast tonight?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Why not? Why are we deciding? We talked about this like 2 weeks ago."
How am I supposed to remember?
We decided we weren't going to do one. Yeah, and then I got the, how am I supposed to remember that
stuff? Hey, at least I showed up.
I will give you that.
I definitely applaud you for that.
Jeez.
But the whole, you guys are supposed to remind me of these things.
Well, it would have been nice to get a reminder. I don't know what happened, but I just did not hear that we didn't have a show.
Technically, according to a lot of people, I am an old man who is slowly and gradually losing his memory every day, and I remember. So,
well, I just didn't hear it. So, me not remembering. I didn't hear that we didn't have a show.
So it wasn't that you didn't remember; it's that you weren't paying attention then.
Sure, we'll just go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Major Douche. I appreciate it.
I mean, it's not. It's honestly, I don't imagine she listens to me, which it's understandable. She's a woman. Of course, she doesn't listen to me. No woman ever does. It's okay. But let me go ahead and just say this now, then, because May is just such a busy month. May 27th, we will not have a show. We will.
27th.
X-Men Apocalypse. I have to do another promo. Which I'm
Yeah,
really excited for this. I'm really excited for it. Not Ivan Ooze, but I'm just really excited for the movie in general.
I don't know, man. I've been seeing that movie's been getting some mixed reviews.
Yeah, every X-Men has gotten mixed reviews. First Class got mixed reviews. Like, at this point, I don't even care. It's an X-Men. Days of Future Past wiped the slate clean. Let's see.
Honestly, I hope it's an X-Men First Class mixed review situation, and not a Batman versus Superman mixed review.
Amen.
Situation.
So my time off, I did the Civil War promo, and I didn't get to see it the Thursday night with my friends like I normally do. I'm really sad, but I did get to see it Friday night, and it is, maybe it's because I'm still high from it. Just that it's that brand new awesome thing to say, thing to cool watch. But Winter Soldier is now number 2. Civil War is number 1. The number 1 Marvel movie, number 1. But yeah, so if you haven't seen Civil War yet, go see it. It's amazing. Tony Stank is awesome. Hashtag Team Iron Man.
Hashtag Team Cap.
Hashtag Team Iron Man.
No. Get yourself pregnant.
So,
like Iron Man did.
But it was cool. I have to say this on the podcast now because many of you guys know my buddy Stevie B from Nerds of the Apocalypse podcast. This afternoon at 3:58 p.m. on Friday the 13th. Awesome, right? He has welcomed a brand new baby boy to the Baxter household.
Stevie B. Bread?
Well, his wife did. I mean, him and his wife, but together they did things.
God help us all.
So ladies and gentlemen,
you're not going to explain what those things are you?
What things?
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I was not. Hi, children. Welcome to DCUO Sex Ed. Welcome to health class.
First of all, the fact that you are going to give that kind of a talk to children is slightly disturbing.
Hey, I learned this stuff in 7th grade. That's still children.
Burger Dave, no, wait until after the show to see Civil War.
There you go. Please, don't leave the show. Please don't.
Yeah, you're one of our 4 listeners. So,
but no. So So please, if you guys have a moment, go over to Nerds of the Apocalypse Facebook page or on their Twitter or CVB with some numbers. He's on Twitter. I don't know what his numbers are. But go leave him some love. His son's name is Oliver Benjamin Baxter. His initials are OB. I'm waiting for people to connect that.
Does he not love his child?
Not only he double loves his child for the fact that we get to call him Ollie, but we're all going to call him Obi. We're all. It's
Oliver.
Yeah, it's such an awesome name. I can't wait to see this kid grow up. But it was so awesome. So yeah, you down with OBB? That's right. Oh my god, I can't wait to text him that. No new. This game is not cool. So we don't need your people. You.
No, this game's really cool because there's a trinket in the game that you can get that will do 40k damage to absolutely nothing, just to pad your scoreboard numbers up. I saw a guy earlier this week with that trinket in his utility belt.
Wow.
I just happened to run into him in the watchtower. I'm like hovering over him. I'm like, I'm gonna expect to see what he's doing and all that. And I'm giving away free timeouts, Lee.
Language, Lee. Language. So, but it has been a pretty awesome time off. I get to see Civil War, but I haven't gotten to see the kid yet. I'm seeing him tomorrow. But honestly, I've just been relaxing a bit and I'm finishing up some DCUO videos to knock these out. And so I want to say this now because we don't have an episode on May 27th. So May 27th, we will not have an episode. So the episode 200, the big old 200, is going to be on July 1st. Now, I know that's going to be a holiday weekend. Everyone should have Friday off. You guys are going to hang out with us. You're going to hang out with us. It's going to be awesome. So it's going to be good. Everyone's going to have some fun times. So, all right. So we have a lot of cool information that is coming out. Well, not really cool. Some of it's cool. Some of it's basically people don't like change. It's whatever at this point. So let's kick it over to our first topic. Oop, wrong clicky. There. First up. So we all have seen the new DC Universe Online website. It's awesome. It's cool. It's confusing. It's new. It's scary.
It's a really cool featured video in the YouTube section, though, about how to be a better controller.
Really? Is there one how to be a super villain?
Is there? I don't know.
I don't know. I was just open. I saw a guide submitted. It was pretty funny. So submit your guides for the DC Universe Online feed on their website. So if you guys are guide writers, so all the remainder, I know he wrote the Celestial one. That's all I got. I can't remember all the other writers. There's just so many. So if you guys are guide writers or you guys want to write up a guide for anything at all, head over to this thread on the, I think it's in the announcement section. Yeah, in the announcement section. So you email them to the player's guide player-direct@daybreakgames.com, and they'll take a look at your stuff. So far, I think they're accepting videos to look at, but at the moment, it's really better to be written word. You type it, really. All the kids just type these days. So type up a nice little guide, keep it professional, keep it clean and neat, straight to the point, and submit it via email to Daybreak Games, and it could possibly show up on the website. The website is doing some really awesome stuff with the guide section. I think they just released the first mission, or the first story arc, as I call it, the first story arc for the Cersei mentor for the magic for you magical villains out there. So it's pretty good. I don't have anything written because I'm I do video because I can't type very well. I don't type good. So I'm going to be submitting my own videos. So hopefully we can start seeing some videos on the webpage in the guide section. So if you guys are out there, want to help out your community, write it up, head over to the forums, and send an email. And I wish you guys all the luck. Next, spring is in the air. I don't know the rest of the song. I'm sorry. I don't know how it goes. I'm sorry, Soups. You seem like someone who would know that song.
Why? Because I'm old, asshole.
Nah, maybe. I don't know.
Bet you Brittany knows the song.
Brittany doesn't know music. See?
I don't know that song. Maybe you're just singing it wrong, Zach.
I have the melody and just changing the words. I think the original words was like "Love is in the air." I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm old too, kinda. So the springtime seasonal event is upon us, and it ends on May 31st. Which, thank you for posting the dates of the event on the thumbnail. That is most appreciative. Let's keep that going. It's good. So I'm actually going to throw this over to Super Patriot and Brittany to talk about the seasonal event, because have you not seen their bases? I mean, have you not? Guys, take it away.
So, yeah, I got a couple of layer items from the seasonal this year. Put them down my layer. Yeah. Brittany put even less down than I did.
Yeah, they were all right.
No, this seasonal, I mean, they knocked it out of the park with the layer items. The seasonal with the trees and the canopies. The canopies rock. Canopies are so cool. Nothing really changed with the seasonal this year, though. It's pretty much the same instance, same open world. But definitely new layer items and all that. And is it just me, or is that like a really long time for the seasonal? The 2nd through the 31st?
It does seem like. I mean, I would think that they last for about a month. I would think.
I don't know, man. It just always seems like they go by so fast.
Well, I guess coming from the St. Patrick's Day one, that was really short compared to the normal ones.
Yeah, but gorgeous layer items and everything like that. I had a blast redecorating. I picked everything up in my one layer that I had, and I had almost 450 items down in it. I picked everything up just to redecorate for this because of this season.
I mean, the base items are just fantastic looking.
Yeah, they stepped it up a notch with these base items. They're amazing.
But yeah, definitely, it's going until the 31st. Definitely go out there and get your feet done in it, especially. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of time.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
There's a lot of stuff that you have to buy. So I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're trying to buy like the items from the previous year, there's actually a lot of stuff you can buy.
So
and Crappy Heels, he decked the shit out of his lair too. His lair's looking beast.
Well, yeah, I mean, nature, he needs it because he's not getting any other nature love.
Yeah, but he's celestial. So he's sold out. He's sold out.
Poor bastard. Okay, so springtime event started last week on the 2nd and ends on May 31st. So go out there and get your nature-loving, tree-hugging self base items. And remember, the next event after this is going to be the summer event. Ooh, and we actually have no update on water. I would hope water would be coming out this summer, but we don't have a date yet. Crossing our fingers on water coming out this summer. So next, we're going to switch our gears over to the test server because episode 24 is on the test server, which brings us the new 2-player duo Harley's Heist and the new 8-player raid Dark Side's War. Factory. Forgot a word. To get
Dark Side's War.
Yeah, whatever. So the combat rating to get into these instances is combat rating of 154. So Harley's Heist is the first, is basically part 1 of Harley's nice little heist thing. It's like, it's nothing big. It's no celestial big battle. It's basically, hey, Harley's trying to steal stuff. Heroes, stop it. Villains, stop it? I don't know. or villains, villains actually lend a hand to Harley. So, yay, villains do something villainous. That's not including murder. Murder is wrong. No. And then for Darkseid's War Factory, Darkseid and his nefarious plans must be stopped once and for all. He has finally gathered enough artifacts of the old gods to reshape them into a machine that will allow him to access the all-powerful source. Yeah! But you're probably just yawning, sorry.
I haven't been on the forums for a couple of days, and I just saw a response to a question or a concern I had.
I'm sorry.
And I'm ecstatic for it.
So with a direct line to the source, Darkseid's will could never be stopped. So you must get there before he can release that divine power. So, of course, villains, you have to stop him. Why? Because he's going to wreck your world just as much as he's going to wreck ours. So, this is one of those times where it's like, hey, help us out. Don't say no. Don't shake your head no. You're going to help, and you're going to like it. And Manowar is going to pull your ear. You're going to help us. So, this is a normal, and it will also be there is an elite raid for this one, isn't it? This is the first in the new cycle?
Yes, there is an elite version for it.
Brittany's all wired up now. It's like, let's do this.
Yep, and the devs have come out and they have said they do not want to hear any complaints about one-shots from Omega Beams, because that's what Omega Beams do. They one-shot you.
He's not lying.
You die.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If you do get hit by the Omega Beam and I see a forum post, I really wish we had that dislike button again. I miss it so much. I mean, if I had the power, I would probably just time you out. It's like, you know what? You're on a 3-day ban. Just shut up. This is why I'm not a mod. So this is why. Sorry. Stupid questions like that. It hurts. It hurts everybody's soul. So trust me, the developers are not even close to running out of stories. That's why we have comic books. You can never run out of stories. Why? Because you always reboot it and retcon it. But no, there's infinite stories that can be told, especially with DCUO being its own separate universe. We can actually do our own little stories as much as we want. I mean, sure, they might be inspired by actual comic events, but I think Nerd of Prey and her writing staff do a pretty excellent job on twisting the story just a little bit and bringing us something awesome and new for comic book eyes. AKA Amazon Fury. I love it. Just love it. I want to see Zeus. Give me Zeus. That's all I ask. Also on the test server with episode 24, typing. So much type. Also on episode 24 in the test server, we have game update 60, which it's not a big update, and that's okay. It's okay, kids. It's okay. It doesn't have to be a big update. It doesn't. We have a fix here for the Phantom Zone 4-player alert. Pet should be able to follow the player without getting stuck partway through the map. That's awkward. The seasonal event, they updated the Festival Crown to be called the Spring Festival Crown to match the style name, and also updated the 4 botany feat descriptions that references to correct item names. Now, a big thing to take away from update 60 here is the appearance items on Vendor 00. Vendor 00. I'm a Gundam Wing fan. It happens. So it has a new shipment of styles. So the styles we're going to see on the vendor now is going to be the Scion of Ion, Disciple of Apocalypse, Amazon Strategos, Insect Colonist, Parademon Sentry, Shepherd of Adara, Avatar of Athenian, Themyscirian Battlesuit, and Bewitching Battlesuit. Boom. This is basically all of Tier 6 that we have in here now. So neat. All right,
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Over here in powers for munitions for chain gun, they fixed an issue with the pushback effects that were too small to fully control other players, but would stop their combos. And then we have changes for Celestial and Rage, which Celestial and Rage have these two changes, which starting the weapon attack combo will now stop your advanced mechanic damage. That's been nixed. We're going to dissect that in just a little bit. So don't fret about that because we are going to talk about that. For Celestial, the multi-input Celestial combos now have extra movement resistance during the transition animation, and Celestial players go ahead and get a woot woot. The advanced mechanic input window for using Celestial combos has been extended to 3 seconds to allow for time to recover from control effects. Woot woot. Woot woot. And then just some random stuff with the vendors and some loot. So nothing really to talk about. You all see it here on the chat. Cool. You see it. It's on the test notes. Go check it out. Some hot fixes that came out on Tuesday. Darkseid's War Factory adjusted the height of the resistor drones.
Keep in mind, folks, these are test server hotfixes.
Yes, test server. All test server. There's no live server hotfixes, but we'll get to why that in just a moment. Vendor gear and episode 24 gear can now be purchased from the vendor. They've unlocked that. So remember this, if you're on the test server. When an episode comes out, you have access to that content to test it and run it. You won't have access to vendor gear until maybe a week later, or a couple of weeks, or a couple of days. It just depends on the devs at that point. So you basically run with the gear that you have, and then when the vendor gear pops up, then boom, you can go ahead and buy it. Then the loot, they correct the amount of loot that will now drop in episode 24 content. And then some alert stuff and also some feats that were finished as well, like the higher gun feat and the bounty hunter feat. Add these feats so that players should now be able to complete them by defeating the appropriate enemies, rather than players needing to complete the missions. This should now allow anyone who is unable to complete one of these feats to proceed. If I'm not mistaken, aren't those the missions that were outside the police stations and nightclubs? Or is that? I haven't had to take a look at episode 24 feats, so I'm not really sure if that's part of it. Or is that the feats in the PvP section, but you get them from completing the missions outside of the bases?
Oh, okay. So, all right. Apparently, there was a bug. That's what this is addressing.
Okay.
So, all right, there was a bug where you could only complete this mission out if you beat somebody who had the mission also. And yeah, we're talking about the player bounty feats.
Huh. My God, can someone please hug Lee?
I gave him a hug.
Thank you. And who is Captain Wilson? I never looked at that thread.
All right,
I don't know.
We'll address that. Captain Wilson was a player. He was a player of the game. He was a member of the Dirty Turbans. He passed away last week at the age of 43.
Oh.
So, yeah.
That's sad.
He was 43. He was only a year older than me.
Well, how does that look into your future?
I don't know exactly how he passed away or what the circumstances were, but that is sad.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
he was actually sick.
That's sad. So, team players out there who know Captain Wilson and anyone from his league, condolences from the Sourcecast. That's really heartbreaking. I had a couple. I actually had one player in my WoW league who got cancer. He's still surviving. He's doing okay now, but it was definitely a direct hit to the heart when we found out. We helped him out as much as can. So, as a community, rabble, raise it. I don't know, whatever. I can't remember the word. Just be together, and show camaraderie. So, hearts out to the friends and family of Captain Wilson. You shall be missed, even though we never knew you. Your name will live on. Yeah. So, and then the last test server hotfix that actually just came out on Wednesday, the vendors, they added a test server 154 CR gearbox to the test vendor. Yay. And here's actually a post right here. Rage and Celestial using weapon attacks will no longer cancel your advanced mechanic damage. And then some fixes for episode 24, where all tier 8 tank gear stats have been adjusted because before, which is awkward.
Very friendly. This lead on the live. You were able to see the vendor gear for the next episode, and people like Brittany pointed out that, hey, how come my defense goes down?
Nerfing tanks.
So that was to ensure the one shots from Darkseid. That's what.
Yeah, exactly.
No one is safe.
The Omega Beam, if you don't get one shot, it should lower your defense by like 90%.
Ouch.
I'm evil. This is why I'm not a developer. So those are the hot fixes on the test server. So for the Xbox players, in case you don't know, there is a test server, but it's PC only. So you can only really go into the test server if you have a computer. You can still, all you have to really do is just download the client onto your computer, log in with your Daybreak account, and you can just create one. It's free, whatever. And you can go and play the game, and it's the entire game. You start for level 30, you get a bunch of skill points. So, and we have gear boxes on the test vendor to help you get to the stats where needed, so you can go out and test content, test powers, test whatever is on the patch notes, test every little thing, and then test the fixes to find every little thing. So consoles don't have a test server. It's just the nature of the beast. So we have PC. So if you Xbox players want to get on the test server to look at this cool stuff beforehand and also get some bug stomping going on, get a PC and download it and have yourself a fun old day.
Wait, is Shaz in the chat? Shaz.
I see Shaz.
Shaz. Hey, Shaz.
Oh my God.
Shaz. Wow, Shaz. Don't say anything. Whatever, Shaz. Rude. I swear to God, I see that every day on the game. Every day on the game.
He doesn't like us. He won't talk to us.
What just happened?
Shaz, he ignores us.
I log on in the game and they've got a chat, a special chat that
of course they do.
Invited me to, and it's a bunch of players in it, and at least four or five times out of the day when I'm playing, all I see is Shaz, hey Shaz, just scrolling, constantly scrolling. It's either new or Brittany doing it. It's constantly scrolling up on the chat box, and I'm sitting there like, would you answer them?
He doesn't love us.
Oh my God, I could have answered them 10 times by now.
At that point, you gotta leave a voicemail, Just like Shaz isn't on the computer right now, or is completely ignoring you, please leave a message that I will not get back to.
Shaz. Wow, rude, Shaz. Okay, Shaz, fine. Don't talk to me, Shaz. Rude. I'm like, ah!
This sounds like it happens so often, you are just away, you're AFK like 90% of your gameplay life. This is what it sounds like. No, Shaz. If he's saying he's AFK.
Probably.
So the big discussion we have to talk about is an update on the melee combat encounters. All right, so everyone, grab your seats, pull up your britches. You all know who you are. Damn kids. We have to break this down as much as possible so everyone understands, so we're all kind of on the same page. So if you have questions, try and leave them for the end, or I'll at least stop at each section. It's like, hey, if you guys have questions, throw them out. Throw them out right now if you have a question, because you're following along, even though you're like 30 seconds behind. So first things first. The greetings, heroes and villains. Hi, how's it going? So right now they're on the late stages of the mid-range balance pass, okay? They're implementing mid-range capabilities to all powers and balancing all powers' damage potential at range, mid-range, and melee. So up next is weapons, followed by the final 4 powers, which is electricity, earth, and sorcery, in a yet determined order. So this is where they're going to give us some updates. No one's really going to call me out on the nature thing. I'm really shocked.
But the fact you didn't mention it?
Yeah. I was expecting you to.
I'm fine with that.
Oh, okay. Crappy.
I think Crappy's about to, though.
Damn 30-second delay. It hurts. It hurts so much. We make ourselves laugh. So
he falls for that shit every time, dude. He was like, SP, man. Tell me something, man. You know stuff. What are they doing about nature? I'm like, they're removing it from the game.
Oh, Crappy. Poor Crappy. Okay, so we're going to talk about Rage, Celestial, and Hardlight. Okay. So in Game Update 58, we've updated Rage to a, let's say, mixed player response. I think Brittany and I can attest to this. Yeah.
Mixed. Okay.
We are still looking at you, Revenge. We still do not like you. So
sure, we'll say mixed.
And the response from Rage players was similar to the response from Hardlight and Celestial players, except maybe Anger, which fits. You know, Meps is cute. He makes jokes. So they noted that their parsers were dead on sparring target, but with the variables removed, but that they fall behind others in terms of damage throughout the course of an instance or a boss fight. No doubt. So we have been investigating why and continued after Rage's update, and here's what we found. : Wait, no, he put a period. Wrong. Should be a colon. Boom. Now I got that Lonely Island song stuck in my head. Great. Good me. So, and let me just say here, as a Rage player, yeah, we were not happy. It was good. I could see somewhat of the damage, but yeah, it's, especially with the changes to Savage State, it still bothers me to this day. And I know it bothers Brittany still too, because she was one of the main components complaining about it, which is a good complaint. I mean, we raging much harder than Hardlight. You know, I mean, Hardlight, congratulations, you guys are awesome. Whatever, go away. So this is what they found after conducting the investigation with the Rage changes. Melee combat and counters. So, many moons ago, we changed the way NPC attacks work in an effort to make melee more viable in response to feedback. Now, NPC attacks were originally cones, meaning essentially anybody up close in front of an NPC would get damaged by attacks. We changed these cones to rays, meaning only the player targeted, usually the tank, would be damaged. This change leads us to the first inconsistency. Okay, Rage and Hardlight are countered by block, and over the course of a boss fight or instance, spend a decent amount of time recovering from being countered, aka we're on our butts, and not doing any damage while they do. Other powers are instead countered by interrupt. This was a solid system when NPC attacks were cones. Players played differently and had to work around these different encounters, but overall spent the same amount of time being countered. With this change from cone to ray attacks, NPCs stopped actually interrupting anyone but their target. So, put it another way. NPCs are block countering powers like Rage and Hardlight as intended. Yay. But are not interrupt countering anybody but their target, the tank. Other powers are able to step up into melee range virtually risk-free and blast away because nothing can counter them, aka Ice. You know who the hell you are. Sorry. For those powers, that translates to more time on their feet and more time fighting, and overall more damage over the course of an instance or boss fight. And yes, I'm reading this verbatim because everyone needs to listen up, because when you read it, it's differently than when you hear it, because you might have missed a word like an adjective or a verb, because you kids these days failed English. Look at your LOLs and your hashtags.
Emojis.
Yeah. We're old. Hush. So this moves us into crowd control. Celestial's inconsistency is different, as the combos are not countered by block. If you have any sort of chat channel enabled in the game, you've probably seen Celestial players comment about having their combos disrupted, not just by counters and crowd control, but knockbacks.
Hear it from Crappy all the time.
This is why I'm not in game.
No, bro, don't disrupt me. No, bro. No, bro. No, bro, you disrupted me. Damn.
Does he just like going to powers where he can just complain about them all the time?
I feel like
not really. No, I mean.
Okay.
I feel like. So, but by seemingly anything that touches them, there's a slight exaggeration, but we dug into one. We found it's actually a new issue, but one that has been exacerbated by the kinds of attacks used in modern content. The problem boils down to how crowd control elements of a certain NPC attack works, or rather don't work. The short version is, a bug is causing some attacks to hit you with a near instant tiny crowd control effect, instead of a normal noticeable crowd control effect. This effect is so short that it doesn't do much of anything in the game except disrupt Celestial combos. See? Celestial gets love, but not in the kind. It's like that rough love that no one really wants, that you said no, but you're still going to get it. You got it. Celestial, congratulations, guys. You're noticed. Not the good way. I know what I said. Doesn't matter. Okay, so what's next? Well, this is what they're working on. First, we will fix the attacks that are currently causing the near instant crowd control effects so that they are apply proper, noticeable crowd control effects. AKA, this will make a lot more sense for everyone and match the intent of these attacks. So I think this is something that they'll see on their end, but unless you're a Celestial player, Hardlight, or Rage, and you're like really focused paying attention to the effects, you probably will not notice them if you're not these powers. If you do notice them, more power to you. So second.
No, basically what they're saying is they're going to make it so that they are more noticeable to you. That way, when you get interrupted, or your combo gets disrupted and all that, you'll know why.
Okay.
It won't appear like, a gust of wind came over and knocked you out of your combo.
Wind powers confirmed.
Which is what's been happening with Celestial.
Celestial is the paper power. Oh, gust of wind, I'm on the ground.
Well, doesn't necessarily knock him down, just knocks him out of the combo.
Yeah, there you go. Second, they're going to add a 3-second grace period to Celestial and explore the option of other powers that lack it. So when you
Atomic.
do...
Yeah, Atomic needs it.
What?
Badly.
No, please. You guys are OP. Shut up.
For the Geiger? Yeah, it needs it.
Oh, Geiger.
100%
Yeah.
needs
Okay. I can see that.
Not for the combos, but for the 1, 2, 3, 4, it needs it.
Okay. Now, see, that's what really it gets really difficult as well, because using the 1, 2, 3, 4 combo, it needs it, but what's to say that, what's the other one?
The 1, 2, 3, 4 needs it, but the combo needs it too, because if you get knocked out of your rotation with that aura goes away like that. Almost. It's almost impossible to get another combo win to keep that aura going.
Do you run with a super that just gives you the
combo?
combo?
You got that. Yeah, you got that super you can fall back on. But I mean, why run that if you should be able to keep your super up with a 3-second grace period when you could run, a damage super if you wanted to?
I wouldn't be upset if it didn't happen to the combos, but I guess I'm just indifferent to that. But for the 1, 2, 3, 4, it for sure needs it.
Yeah.
That's awful getting interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. It being a combo power, I think the combo powers by themselves, by default, should have the 3-second grace period. Ice, you're not getting it? Shut it. Tough.
Ice already has it.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
What? Dude, seriously, why do you think Ice is so OP? It's got 0 setup time. It's got the grace period. And it's, after, it's literally, 3 buttons and then fucking, spam, 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 3 buttons, spam, 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 3 buttons, spam, spam, spam.
And just think, it's a free power. It's not even something you buy on the marketplace.
Yeah.
They should change that.
That's why I'm looking forward to the attacks changing from Brave to Conan. I'm gonna laugh my ass off watching all these ace players. Oh my god! Oh! All these staff using freaking bosses too. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
So Celestial on the test server right now, of course, already has a 3-second grace period. So hopefully the Celestial players are noticing at least a change in that. So third, we will make weapon attacks immediately drop you. Okay, that's actually screw that, scratch that. Third is not happening. That's not happening. But, but I mean, it's
that right there, that got a lot of contention.
Yes,
and I agree. I agree with some of the viewpoints of it. I didn't see it. A lot of people were voicing that as it was punishing DPS for doing interrupts and everything like that. I don't agree with that stance on it. I felt that it was a change that was going to discourage smart gameplay, because once DPSs get going, I mean, Christ, I had one a tank. I was tanking last night, and DPS did not even bother to try to pick me up when I went down after I lost my powers in it. So I was pretty annoyed by that. So we kicked him out when he got smart about not helping to pick up. So, but
yeah,
that change right there. I mean, I totally agree. I mean, we should everybody should be able to do a lunge to interrupt block breaks. Most of the AM powers are block breakers anyways. So they shouldn't have to worry about that. But being able to lunge and interrupt block breaks or lunge to get in to get closer to enemies and everything like that, that's something that should be available to everybody. So I'm glad they decided not to do that.
And see, I was one on the other side of the camp where it's like, sure, why not? Just do it. I mean, because the number one complaint, besides the whole lunging and everything, it's like, and that's what, and if people were saying that they lunged to get closer to the target when they backed up, and I was in my mind, and I've seen Brittany's stuff as well, because she says she lunged a lot, and I'm like, I just don't see it as it being a thing, and
that's because you melee DPS with rage. So
even as a quantum, even a quantum, when I was quantum DPSing, I didn't see it. I mean, my quantum DPSer might not be in game, but he's in Halls of Power Part 2 content, and I mean, I'm still doing stuff there. But I didn't see an issue with it because I from the threads, the post that I saw was people, they didn't want their damage interrupted to mess up their AM damage because they had to do a block break. They felt like it was a punishment. In my eyes, I'm like, no, you're just helping out. And I mean, how long is it going to take to get an AM back up? I mean, for Rage, it's about 3 seconds because freaking Savage State. I mean, for most other people, it's a lot quicker than that. For God's sakes, Ice has no problem with it whatsoever. They can do what the hell they want. But I mean, for the AMs to go back up, that's where I didn't see the issue. Was the fact that your AM dropped because you did something else. Whether it was the lunge to interrupt, the block break to interrupt, or you hit the wrong button, and you're worried about your AM damage going away because of it, well, then put it right back up. I mean, am I going to yell at my controller? Of course I'm going to yell at my controller who has no power because he's trying to control, he's feeding power to everybody else but himself. It's like, well, he has to build himself back up. So, I mean, just build your AM back up and go for it. And I don't complain. I rage. There is a difference. Ice needs a nerf. Seriously, it's a free power. We should just pull in the marketplace and they'll make a killing. I'm not saying he'll have a respect token for it too, but whatever. Whatever. But the weapon attacks, dropping your AM, that going away is better for the community. I will give it that. The community vocalized, they didn't want it, so boom. There it goes. And which also have to give a little credit to Daybreak Games as well for getting rid of it, which is another thing that they've done. They've listened to the community and they've changed it. And honestly, I think I was probably the one person who didn't mind it. One, because I'm rage and I really don't care. And two, I DPS and I still don't care. I do what I need to do. But the developers listened to the community and it got what it needed to do. So have at thee. Alright, so finally in fourth, we will add resistance to crowd control effects for Celestial players while they are executing the multi-input portion of combos. So for Celestial players, this means less things will knock you out of your combo, in that when you are disrupted, you'll clearly see what you got and why, or what got you and why. So, let me just say this as well. Out of all the combo powers, Celestial is still by far the... What's the word I'm going to look for? Soups, what's the word I'm looking for to describe the combo power of Celestial compared to the other combos?
I have no idea.
Horrible is the word I'm looking for. It's just downright damn horrible. Because it truly, Celestial is a combo. Because you have to do the power going into, it's a that is literally a multi-input. Tap, I'm going to tap melee, hold range, boom, combo. Just, what is going on? Rage? Well, I have to do either hold melee or hold range. Done! Hard light, hold melee, hold range. Actually, no, I correct myself. Tap, 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 hold. Hard light is actually a lot faster than Celestial. But Celestial has to do these different multi-input combos. It's like you just need a cheat sheet besides your keyboard or controller to see, what do I need to do again? Okay, I got that. I can do that. It's like playing Street Fighter as a Celestial player. You're playing Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. You have to memorize the combos. Memorize your button combinations. So of course I see the stress that Celestial players have. Crappy, I'm on your side on this one. Don't worry. and so there's something had to be done for Celestial, so Celestial DP, especially a Celestial DPS, are able to put up the numbers that is needed. It is that complicated. Lee, shut up. You want another band? We'll give you another band hug. We'll do it. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy that Celestial is getting love, and we may not see it in Update 60, but I hope we do see it in Update 61 at least, so it can be the next thing that comes into the game for Celestial players. And so finally, in regard to the melee encounters, we have not yet settled on a plan to change or correct the inconsistency between block encountered and interrupt countered powers, and we are still discussing options internally. Even without news to share on that front, we wanted to take the time to update you on the progress and our findings, which is basically voila. So, for all the things that you see here, go to the closest rage person that you have and thank them. Because if it wasn't for rage, you wouldn't have this. And, as a rage player, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, I don't know. I'm just a guy. So that's the really big melee combat update. And one of the things that they are changing is the fact that Ice. I have to always go back to Ice because Ice is really just the. I feel Ice is the new Warlock power where you can basically just face roll your keyboard and you did damage. Congratulations, your top numbers. Blah blah blah. For old school WoW players, everyone knows how Warlocks play. We all know. So with that, powers like ice, when you're going in there and doing Arctic Gust, these changes are now supposed to really come in and actually interrupt you. When it was the cone state, that's technically what it was supposed to do. Because you're in that area, if you're that close trying to do damage, you are going to get interrupted. But since we changed to the Wraith format, where it's really going to only interrupt the tank, now we really come into that issue. Where is it better with rays or is it better with cones? What do you think, Soups?
I definitely feel it's going to make players pay more attention to their positioning when they're DPSing, especially the ice and munitions guys out there, because if they are within the radius of that cone, they're going to be constantly interrupted. So, standing behind the bosses might be a good idea for you guys. Just a suggestion. Which
is basically the number one rule as a DPS, especially if you're melee. You're behind the boss. It's bad enough as melee, the tanks don't want you around to begin with. They don't want you beside them. So at least be nice and try and get behind them or behind the boss, please.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. It's like every time and I'm DPSing, I'll fly into the room and I'll skirt the outside. I'll go all the way around behind and stand behind bringing it. Because I know the tank's going to go straight at him. And his back's already to me. So his back's going to stay to me so long as, the tank's holding aggro on him. Unless he, turns around and decides to clap me and almost one-shot me. Clap me at the same time the lasers are hitting me when the spikes come out. That's always awesome. But yeah, so it's all about positioning. Smart DPSs are going to be fine with this change. Stupid DPSs, they're going to learn the hard way, and some of them may not learn at all. They'll just go to the forums. I keep getting interrupted. Every time I hit Arctic Gust and he's doing martial flowers with staff, I get interrupted. Well, dummy, why don't you get off the freaking tank's shoulders and stand behind him?
No, I'm a piggyback DPS. Literally, it's a piggyback DPS. Yeah, I want to be on the tank's shoulders. Nope, get off me, you little bastard. I'm trying to do this. So yeah, always be behind the tanks. And also, if the tank goes down and you are a DPS, stop what the fuck you're doing and pick that person up, please. I read what you typed, Soups. I read what you said. Even I got frustrated. Where I was yelling at the computer. I was yelling at my computer screen, reading it like the DPS is going to listen to me. Like, will you pick him up? Why would you not pick him up?
Oh, you talking about my story about the run?
Yes!
Yeah, I was the tank.
I know!
I was the tank, and, had a couple of guys, it was all league run, but just one pug. And a couple of the guys came over, tried to pick me up. They couldn't do it because they had demons on them and everything like that. And the other DPS, he was standing right there, and I'm watching him just pew-pewing away. And when I was able to get up, or when I was able to rally and everything, I said to the guy in group chat, I was like, hey, good job helping out with that pickup. And he replied back, "You're welcome," with a smiley face. And I freaking just went straight to the group chat, group option, and I started to vote to kick. And they were like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, get that asshole out of here." It's just before the last boss fight too, and it was awesome. I felt good about that.
The reason that the episode is titled "I Don't Like Change" is, well, one, I watched the episode of Family Guy where Stewie had like a giant hole in the rooftop, and Stewie just comes out, "What is this? I don't like change." Still cracks me up. But no, the update on melee combat encounters was basically everyone saying, "I don't like change." That was the whole thing I picked up.
I'm gonna save everybody a bit of trouble right here. Crappy, I'm gonna help you out a little bit.
Oh God!
Everybody out there, if you're using Venom Booster in your loadout for DPSing, stop it.
Why? What the hell?
It's garbage. It's garbage. You get 3 mic ticks. That's it. And they're not even worth it.
No, it's not. Why would they do that?
It's not nearly as good as it used to be.
I mean, if it's Xbox players, hey, you know what? You do you. I mean, but you'll learn it's not good, and we're telling you now it's not good. But if you're PC or PlayStation, stop it. You know better. Bad on you. Shame on you. None of that. Bad. But yes, so that's really all I have that happened last week. The update on melee combat encounters is, of course, locked because it went down.
Locked a couple of times.
Yes, it did. And then it got reopened again because, Meps loves punishment. He is just something else, I tell you what. But yeah, then it got locked again. So the melee, the weapon changes are coming, which the weapon changes for the mid-range balance pass will include, I believe, some adjustments to weapon combos, but especially to weapon mastery. Because as we remember, weapon mastery is supposed to be the alternative from advanced mechanics. Did it turn out that way? No. Well, no, it did not. Especially on a DPS point, your advanced mechanic for your power will be a lot better than your weapon mastery, unless you're nature, electricity, earth, or sorcery. At that point, you need your weapon mastery. You need it. For support roles like tank controller or healer, having the weapon mastery is actually really beneficial. Not if you're a tank. I still don't like the less power thing. It's even to this day that for tanks it needs to change. I don't like it. I hate it. I want something to up my defense or give me a bubble or something. I don't know. Just no. I hate it. And then once the balance for weapons come out, then we actually start working with nature, electricity, earth, and sorcery. So these are the 4 final powers of the balance pass that we need to get through. Honestly, earth and sorcery, you guys know you don't need a balance pass. You're good. Look at your pets; they're outrageous. You're fine.
They're going to be getting a balance pass after this weapons balance pass comes out because they're probably going to need to be nerfed.
Nah. Why the pets are doing just fine. Just fine. They're you know what? I don't say this a lot, but they're perfect.
This guy.
They are just perfect. And nature and electricity, you guys need all the help you can fucking get. I really, really hope nature and electricity are first. Or at least electricity, earth, and then nature and sorcery. That's right, nature last. Ha 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 ha.
I hope they make nature so where that when you go to DPS with it, you have to be in dog form.
Oh my gosh. Oh, poor Crappy.
We joke with Crappy about that shit all the time. We could just come up with these nightmare scenarios for how they're gonna buff nature up. And say, oh yeah, man, it's gonna be awesome, dude. It's gonna be awesome. And so you'll be able to DPS and all that, but you'll be in wolf form, or you'll be in dog form, or you'll have to use the gorilla form, supercharge.
Oh my god, that'll be so bad.
Oh man!
And I was actually researching the advanced mechanic for all the powers, which I have an outline because I'm about to do some videos for it. And I realized actually I don't have the information for atomic, which I need to add that to my list. So thank you for me having to go through this now. But I was looking at nature again, and I forgot that Soar, everyone remembers Soar, good guy, he taught me how to DPS as nature, and I did it with him beside me, and it was amazing. Tough. Like I'm sorry, that was just outrageous, all the crap I had to do just to do DPS as nature. And I forgot it, and I looked at the guide again. to make some notes. I'm like, oh, that's right. ... Do something. Wolf form. ... Refresh. I was like, oh no, my God. This is like return back to normal, do everything over again. I'm like, holy crap. No, I don't want to do this anymore. No. If you are still a nature player, hats off to you. Just hats off to you. Because, jeez. I'm going back to nightmares again over that thing. It was cool when you got it down pat, though. When you actually got the rotation, it was pretty sweet. But, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So,
I'm hoping that nature has a thing in the rotation where you have to alternate between from dog into wolf, and then to get the burst damage, you have to use the gorilla supercharger.
now, is the Gorilla Supercharger a 25 or a 50?
It's a 35, I believe.
It's a 35. Okay. Well, you know what? Just because I like nature, we'll drop it down to 25. Just to help out a little bit more. That's what we'll do. I'm here for you nature players. I'm here. We're going to drop it down to 25. That's what we'll do.
Hey, you keep blaming me for shit in the game all the time. I'll make suggestions that fuck shit up for you. Then you'll have something to blame me for. These guys make jokes all the time and all that, so I get blamed for everything in the game. Say the PvP is my fault. Something stupid and random will happen to them. That's SP's fault. I blame Soups.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
So that's really it that I have on my notes. Does anyone else have anything that's happened in a couple weeks on DCUO?
I don't know.
Britt, you have anything?
I was on mute. No. My bad.
Really fast. How did survival mode go before it was gone?
It was pretty good. We got probably farther than we... Well, actually, we got a lot farther than we did last year, which was nice. Which was nice for us, because last year's FOS was kind of a bust. But we...
Did you guys beat round 20?
No, we beat 19 and got
19.
to 20 ads and then wiped. And then
That's cool.
we just got too serious too late, which kind of sucks, because we know we could have done it, but we had basically like one chance, and that was it.
Yeah.
So, gotta start early.
Gotta start early.
Yep.
So, we all know that last week was the first week of May, and we did not have episode 24 out on live servers. Now, grieve as any ways you can. I mean, don't be destructive. No, don't go out there and hurt someone. But I want to also point this out, that the goal for the developers is to have an episode out every month. That is the goal. Some goals just, stuff happens. Stuff just happens that either gets pushed back or whatever, but we are only just finishing the second week of May. And I think it's like the second week that's been on test. So if we go by the past experiences, we may see episode 24 out next week. May. I'm not saying it will. I'm thinking it may. Just by how everything's gone. Now, why did we not get an episode 24 last week? Well, it's because Daybreak did something so awesome that they dropped it on Xbox. The Xbox release happened the week before. And through the entire opening launch weekend, the launch week, and even now, as it's continuing on, the Xbox servers are getting so much attention. They are increasing the server capacity for the servers, and they're trying to lower the login queue. For any person who's been playing on Xbox or has seen Xbox streams or have definitely been onto the Xbox section of the forums, those login queues are no joke. Even I decide to spend $5 just so I can get into that premium queue because that free-to-play queue is outrageous. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of being number 4,854. I'm going to go be number 184 on the premium side. Oh, yeah. 5-minute wait, worth it. Of course, members can probably get in 2 minutes, but whatever. But yeah, if you're an Xbox player and you don't like the free-to-play player, and I will say this, I feel like the login queue is the closest pay-to-win scenario that we have for the game. I just feel it is because, oh, you know what? I want to be in this queue. I want to pay money.
It's not even pay to win. I mean, seriously, folks. It's like I had a guy in my stream the other day, so we were talking about. He was like, man, the login times, for free players, bad. And I'm like, well, you spend $5 and all that, and you go premium, and you get in quicker. $5, it's nothing.
That is it's nothing.
And there's a lot you can get with $5 from some of the packages they got. And the guy was like, he's like, yeah, right, I'm not spending any money on a free game. And I'm like, it's your loss.
Hey, that's the thing. It's like, please, I understand giving feedback for a game, but don't really go in with a lot of negativity and really trash it as much as possible when it's a free-to-play game and you haven't put money into it. True, you put time in. I will give you that. You put time in. But you really haven't put money into the game, so don't come out there and just say, I'm not going to pay for this. Okay. Have fun, then up to tier 4. Have at thee, buddy. Have at thee. But the Xbox server queues were outrageous, so let me... I think I can actually find I think he posted a thread in the announcements about this. Let me find it real fast. About the server downtime. Let me make sure this is the one. Okay, yes. Well, actually, it's not the one, but it works out. Let me show you guys. So, this is Maps talking about giving an update on the Xbox One server back on May 3rd. So, when they're adding a new server, this is how the game goes. Every player is in a phase. All right, and those phases are basically nodes within the server. So all of these nice little phases that the player is in, they keep getting maxed out. And so when the player is waiting in queue, that queue is basically waiting for another player to either log out of the game or somehow get into a different phase so you can try and get in. We saw this on day 1 of the mega servers. It was crazy. Just outrageous. And the login issues that the Xbox players have, PlayStation 3. You do not have it bad. They had it bad. They had it worse. So, game update 3, how dare you? Anyways.
let me ask you, Xbox guys, when you guys finally work all the time? Because if they work all the time, you're one up on PS3 on what PS3 was when it launched.
That is so true. So, with the server increases, they are adding more servers so they can add more nodes. So that means they're adding more phases so they can try and get all these players into the game. Now, the developers, I'm pretty sure, had an expectation. They had an expectation on how much player base of the Xbox One community was going to bring. You guys destroyed that expectation to the point that Meps still hasn't gotten sleep. Pretty sure.
That's a robot. Meps is a robot. He doesn't need sleep.
That's true. But I mean, you know what? He has to be plugged in sometimes, and I don't even think he's been plugged in yet. I mean, he is running straight off of whiskey and whatever food vegans eat. Brandy. Sorry. I definitely went too Bender with this analogy. So the Xbox players, you have definitely you have opened so many eyes to the community, and even I, as a PC player, playing a little bit on Xbox, it's amazing to see you guys in the game being so active, and other streamers out there like the Beard, you guys streaming, showing the game off to new players, to your communities. It's amazing to see. It really is. The server capacity and the logins, it's a pain in the ass. It is. I've been there. It just sucks. On launch days, it just sucks. It just sucks. So, but the devs are working on it. They have spent every single day since launch increasing capacity. I mean, let me show you the announcements. These are Xbox server downtimes for you guys. All these Xbox server downtimes so they can add in more servers, more capacity, more players. Boom, boom, boom. They are spending tirelessly effort to get this in. Because you know what? First impressions, yeah, it kind of hurts. It really does. But I'm telling you, players now, do not give up. First off, it's a free-to-play game. You're playing free. Just give it a little chance here. And they're working on getting where no queues happen, or at least the queues kind of get way lesser.
5 minutes.
Yeah,
5-10 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a person.
Few times are manageable.
Yeah, where they're manageable, exactly. So have faith, Xbox players. Go out there and have some fun, and trust me, the developers are working on this every single day. And in the server stability, that is a thing. It sucks, and it's also probably another reason why we don't have the episode 24 out yet, because the servers are just not stable because of the influx of players and just random server lag. It stinks.
It just cracks me up. Some of them out there. So, man, I can't believe this shit. This shit sucks. I'm not paying for this game. You're not paying now. I ain't paying for this piece of shit. You're not paying now. He gave it to you, and you're bitching about it. Give them some time, man. They're working on it. Shit.
Yeah. So I just want.
Speaking of episode 24, you guys think we're going to see it next week?
I believe. I think we're going to see it. I honestly believe. I honestly believe we'll see it.
I honestly hope so. Looking forward to it.
Me too. But that is it for our show this evening. I want to thank everyone for watching. And we're going to cue over here to our shameless plug. Yay. Be sure to find us over on social media, over on Facebook and the Twitter. Just type in DCUO Sourcecast. Find all of the VODs over at youtube.com/Trexlight in the Sourcecast playlist. They also link over to Zero Patriots channel as well. If you guys want to listen to the audio format, go over to Trexlight.com on the DCUO Sourcecast webpage, or you can go over to iTunes, just type in DCUO Sourcecast, and you'll find us. If you guys have any questions or suggestions you guys want us to talk about on the show, just type in DCUO Sourcecast at gmail.com. Soups, where can we find you?
You can, of course, find me at youtube.com/thedaddy'shouse. I am also on facebook.com/thedaddy'shouse. I'm on the Twitter at thedaddy'shouse there, and you can occasionally find me streaming on twitch.tv/thedaddy'shouse. Brittany, where can we find you?
You can find me on YouTube / Brittany, on Twitter at PinkRanger_206, or on Twitch at Brittany_Trix. Where can we find you?
You can find me over at Facebook.com/Trexlight, over at YouTube at YouTube.com/Trexlight. You can find me on the Twitter all the time over at This Is Trex. You should be following me. And be sure to follow my Twitch channel over at twitch.tv/TrexLight. Trexlight. So, thank you guys so much for watching again. We will see you guys next week for episode 195, and it's only 6 more episodes to the big 200. Can't wait. And I will try my best to get SJ on this show. It's the episode 200. I will bribe her as much as my pockets will allow. I can try. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys next week. You guys have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.